So, as a punishment for not making a video, I had to summarize the whole Twilight series in under a minute. But I'm really bad at summarizing and made a really long summary of the whole series. Then I had to shorten it down to like nothing for my actual punishment. But I felt like I couldn't waste that huge summary that I made, so I decided to make a video of my summary of the Twilight Saga. So, here's that. Twilight. Bella is whiny. She's just a plain and boring teenager with no friends who moves to Forks, Washington to live with her dad, Charlie. And in Forks, everybody loves her. But the only thing that she likes is Edward Cullen. Edward is a vampire, but she doesn't care that he thirsts for her blood and wants to kill her at every chance he gets because she loves him even though they barely know each other. The book has tons of mysterious build-up to her finding out that he's a vampire, even though it's pretty obvious, and the blurb on the back of the book tells you straight up that he's a vampire. Then some other vampires meet Bella, and one of them decides that he wants Bella as his snack, but Edward just wants Bella all to himself. Then that vampire lures Bella into a trap, catches her, and almost kills her because Bella is stupid and falls for his trap instead of listening to every single other character in the book. Then Edward and his weird family of vampires save her and kill the bad guy, of course. Then Bella decides she wants to become a vampire so they can be together forever, but Edward says no because he doesn't want to take away her soul, and then he forces her to go to prom with him. New moon! Bella's birthday party at the Cullens' house goes terribly wrong when she gets cut and the vampires go nuts over the blood. Even though nothing bad actually happens to her, Edward decides that he causes too much danger for her in her life, so to make her life less dangerous, he brings her out into the middle of the woods and breaks up with her, and leaves her there to have a nervous breakdown and run around falling and crying because she's so clumsy. Then she just gives up and lays on the ground crying, and when they find her the next day, she decides to become a zombie for months and do absolutely nothing. Then she decides to become an adrenaline junkie because doing dangerous things makes her hallucinate Edward yelling at her to stop being stupid. So she buys 2 motorcycles and has Jacob Black, some Native American kid, help her fix these bikes. Then they become besties and he falls in love with her, God knows why. She's the most boring person on the face of the planet, but whatever. But she's emotionally unavailable because Edward stole her heart and soul. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, and Jacob is a werewolf, by the way. So she keeps getting closer and closer and letting Jacob in, and then she finds out that Edward thinks she's dead because one of her stupid adrenaline junkie stunts was jumping off a cliff, and Edward found out and thought that she killed herself, so he decided to go to Italy and kill himself. So she ditches Jacob to go to Italy and stop him from revealing himself to the public so that the Volturi, which is kind of like a vampire government, doesn't kill him. She gets there just in time, and the Volturi tell Edward that since humans aren't supposed to know about vampires, he has to turn her into a vampire. Bella's pretty happy, Edward is pissed. So they get back together, of course, and even though Bella is stupid and keeps thinking that Edward doesn't love her and is going to leave her again, Edward says he'll change Bella if she marries him. Eclipse! We find out that a crazy vampire, Victoria, who was mates with the one who tried to kill Bella in the first book, is after Bella. Edward and Jacob both decide to protect Bella so that she has vampires and werewolves, who are enemies, by the way, to keep Victoria away. Edward proposes and Bella accepts. They decide the safest thing for Bella is to have her hide away in the mountains, so she has to share a tent with Edward and Jacob. Awkward! And then Jacob has to lay in her sleeping bag with her and heat her up since Edward is all cold and dead while Edward is in the tent with them. Jacob also decides to kiss Bella, and she doesn't really do anything to stop it. Then the vampires and wolves kill Victoria, and then Bella tells Jacob that she loves him and could really see herself being with him and having a family with him, but she chooses Edward since he's her soulmate and all. And then they send Jacob a wedding invitation. That is so beat. And then he decides to run away as a wolf and be angsty. Breaking dawn! Edward and Bella have this perfect wedding, and then they honeymoon on a private island where they finally have hot, passionate sex. Oh wait, Stephanie Meyer didn't actually let us read about that. Scratch that. They go toward each other romantically in the ocean. Then the chapter ends. Then they wake up the next morning to a wrecked bedroom and a beat-up Bella. So thanks for teaching young girls to wait for sex until marriage, but that violent relationships are fine as long as the girl is okay with it. Then Bella starts vomiting and realizes she's pregnant with a mutant baby who grows unnaturally fast and beats up Bella from the inside, so she's almost dying throughout the entire pregnancy. Then Bella pretty much dies as Edward chews through her placenta to birth this demon child, but then he injects his venom into her with needles so that she changes into a vampire instead. That scene was horrifically disgusting and not romantic at all, by the way. Then Bella turns out to be like the best vampire ever, and the baby, Renesmee, stupid name, is really creepy and weird and grows super fast. Oh, and by the way, Jacob came back and imprinted on the baby, which in the werewolf world means that as soon as he met her eyes, he knew that it was his soulmate. An infant. So he's going to be like her protector until she's fully grown, which by the way is at age 6 because she's weird. And then they can be together forever. Edward doesn't really care about the baby that much, but the rest of the family is like obsessed with her. Then the Volturi find out about her and decide that they need to come take her away and destroy her because she could be dangerous. The Cullens bring together an army of vampires and they all train and get ready for this huge battle with the Volturi. And the Volturi come and they stand on opposite sides of a field. And then the Cullens go, hey look, this guy is just like Renesmee because he's half vampire and half human and he's actually fine. And then the Volturi go, oh, okay. And they walk away. And then everyone lives happily ever after. That's actually the end of the series. No, that's like really how it ends. Yeah, no, there's not another book. I would just like to take this time to thank Stephanie Meyer for making me obsess over her books for 3 books. And then upon reading the final installment in the series, realizing I wasted so much time out of my life reading the load of crap that she put into the last book. Thank you, Stephanie Meyer. Thank you a lot. I felt like I was reading fan fiction. Eclipse. Oh wait, that was the 3rd one. Ugh. Since Edward is all cold and dead and shit.